Oh goodness. Well, I've been a rostered organist here for 33 years, and I originally moved from Melbourne to Adelaide, and I fell in love with the theatre organ in Melbourne. We joined the Theatre Organ Society over there while I was still at school, and it's just a unique sound. And having learnt classical piano and classical organ, I finally found a teacher who could teach me theatre organ, and I've been virtually playing it ever since. It's great fun. Well, there's sorts of funny stories about this one. It's made out of bits and pieces from various theatre organs around the country, and it was originally put together by an eccentric theatre organist in New South Wales by the name of Pen Hughes. When he got sick of it, he sold it to a bloke up in Darwin, name of Mike Fitzno, and he carted overland to Darwin in a double-decker bus and built big concrete chambers under his house to install it. Worse luck, he never got around to it, and the weather finally took its toll, so he offered it for sale, and the Society in South Australia bought the organ and removed it from Darwin and brought it back to Adelaide, and got it out of Darwin 3 weeks before Cyclone Tracy flattened Darwin. And the Fitzners sheltered in the empty concrete organ chambers while their house was blown apart above them. It was a very fascinating story. Since then, there's been hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on it, restoring it, adding to it. It's now virtually the most comprehensive theatre organ in the Southern Hemisphere. It's an interesting instrument because you can virtually play almost anything on it. You can make it sound big and loud and classical if you want to, or you can make it sound soft and soupy. So it's a huge variety of music you can play on it. Although the instruments were designed in the 20s and 30s, they are relevant even to today's music. It does work on the organs when performed properly. So they're very versatile. The feedback we get from the organ is usually very good. People love coming to the theatre because the organ is an integral part of our presentation. Well, at times it seems to be the biggest kept secret in Adelaide because people come and they just can't believe it when they get to the top of the stairs. But we've been here since virtually 1983. The pipe organ has been installed in this theatre, and it's used consistently for lots of private hires and group bookings, as well as normal before the shows on Friday, Saturday and Tuesday nights. So it does get very good coverage. And we get a lot of people coming to the theatre because of the organ. They love the fact that the organ plays before the film. And we also get a lot of people that get to the top and think, my goodness, they had no idea that it was like this. Well, I must admit I love stuff that's got to have a tune you can sort of whistle. I like there's lots of, like Irving Berlin wrote, a lot of his music relates very, very well to the theatre organ. Lots of music from the 20s through to the 50s is very good. My style of playing is perhaps not all that good in respect if we go to the 70s and this type of music, but there are other organists who do play that style very, very well. So I tend to play more of the stuff of the 30s and 40s, around that era, which is when the organ was originally built. Well, we've got a roster of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think there's about 6 on our organists roster here that are volunteers of the Society that play the organ on a regular basis. Well, Theatre Organ Society of South Australia, there's virtually a division of the Theatre Organ Society in every state, and the whole idea, they were mainly formed during the 1960s when the theatre organs were being removed from the city theatres where they were originally installed in the 20s. And these groups of people were there to preserve that sound, which was unique. Most of the societies own at least one organ. We're lucky in this respect that the society owns 2. We've got the one here and we've got one in storage at the moment. But we had this massive organ and we had to try and find somewhere to install it. So with that in mind, at the time this cinema came up for sale and the society decided to purchase the cinema as a place to install the organ. And of course we had to run the cinema as a cinema to pay A, the mortgage, and B, the power bill and all this sort of thing. And it's virtually started from there. So the society has made a very, very successful go at it. And we've ploughed an enormous amount of funds back into restoring the theatre back to as close as we can to its 1941 roots.